In this video, we continue with graphs by also having a look at negative values, and for that we use the Cartesian plane. The Cartesian plane consists of two number lines. The one runs horizontally and the other is placed vertically on top of it so that the zeros overlap. This point where both number lines are on zero is called the origin. The horizontal number line is called the x-axis and the vertical number line is the y-axis. Both number lines continues infinitely in both directions, and this is indicated by the arrow points. These two number lines divide the Cartesian plane into 4 quarters. We start numbering them in the top right, so that will be our first quadrant, and the first quadrant is where both the horizontal and the vertical axis have positive values. All the global graphs we previously had a look at fall in this first quadrant. In the top left, we have our second quadrant, and here the horizontal values are negative. Then, bottom left, we have quadrant 3, and bottom right, quadrant 4. Any point on the Cartesian plane or system of axes can be described by an ordered pair of numbers. This is always written in coordinate form, where we write the x value first, followed by the y value. These values are always described from the origin. So in the case of the point I made here, we are firstly going to say move 1 unit on the horizontal x-axis, and from there we need to move 3 units up to get to our point. So this point written in coordinate form is 1, 3. So it's important to note that a coordinate like this always describes the horizontal movement first and then the vertical movement. Let's describe another point. Here we need to move 4 to the left on our horizontal x-axis, and that will be -4. And from there we need to move 2 units up on the vertical y-axis. So the coordinate is -4, 2. Example 1. Give the coordinates of each of the points A to D. Starting off with coordinate A and describing our movement from the origin, it will be 2 units to the right on the x-axis, and from there 7 units up. So our coordinate is 2, 7. For coordinate B, we're going to start by moving 4 units to the left on the x-axis, so that is -4, and then 2 units up, so the coordinate will be -4, 2. For point C, we do not move left or right on the horizontal axis, so that is a movement of 0. Then we move 2 units down, and that is -2. And lastly, we have point D, and for this one we move 5 units to the right on the x-axis, and we do not move up or down, so the vertical movement is 0. Example 2. Plot each of the given points on the system of axes. Firstly, we have point E. Remember that we start on the origin, and now we need to move 3 units to the left in the negative direction and 3 units up. So point E is in the second quadrant. For point F, we're firstly going to move 1 unit to the right and then up to 6 on the vertical axis, so point F lies in the first quadrant. For point G, we're firstly going to move 8 units to the right on the horizontal x-axis and then no units up or down, so point G lies on the x-axis. And lastly, we have point H, for which we move 4 to the left and 4 down, so point H is in the third quadrant.